La-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. All good pals and jolly good company. Hey!
Hello Gooners and welcome to the Gooner Family Podcast. My name's Rich.
I'm Kev.
I'm Marlon.
I'm Mike.
And back by popular demand today, we also have with us the Cockney Foghorns. So say hello to your crowd.
Evening all.
The Foghorns become quite popular for one reason or another. We won't divulge into that one. But if you're listening to us live, thanks a lot. And if you fancy tweeting us at any point during the podcast, we will be picking up our phones and having a look, see what people are saying. So feel free to tweet us. And if you disagree with anything we say, feel free to do that as well. So first of all, lads, the Reading game. Let's talk Reading. We was all there, with the exception of a couple of people in company. But what was your thoughts on the game, Kev?
Well, I listened to it from my sick bed, so that didn't really make me feel much
Is that an excuse for not being there?
Oh, it's fair to say I wouldn't have been there even if I was well. But yeah, I actually listened to it on the radio, which was quite a novel experience, and or the Arsenal site, and yeah, it just sounded like a shocker. What was interesting though out of the whole game is that it did sound as if Arshavin was really busy and lively, and that seemed to come across. And there was actually a lot of anti-Arshavin stuff that I saw on Twitter from people watching the game. So just goes to show you get a different view of things. Lots of giggling.
As they say, yeah.
Well, Mal, what do you think watching the game?
At the time, I was euphoric that we came back. At the time, I was very euphoric that we come back from 4-0 down. But having watched it again the next day, and dust settled, watching that first half, what a flipping shambles. To be honest,
It was shocking, wasn't it?
What shambles.
It was shocking. I think. Well, I mean, I was glad I only paid 15 quid for the ticket because, like, I was thinking, oh my god, I was thinking this. You can't get any worse than this.
In terms of a seesaw game, I know we've been to a few games now. That's got to be the most amazing game you've ever been to. Maybe not quality-wise,
That's a neutral.
but yeah.
I'm surprised they can remember it though. They were probably slaughtered, weren't they?
Well, there was one or two beers consumed, I must admit, and I must admit though, when we went 4-0 down, I sobered up rather quickly. I could not believe what I was seeing.
So did everyone leave then, or did they just slow off to the pub?
That was a load of old pony, all that sort of stuff. I can vouch for it myself because I did it myself. I was disgusted.
You do every game, don't you? You go down.
Yeah. Well, no, I went down earlier this time. 10 minutes before half time, I went down and had a beer, and that's what most Gooners did. So the fact that they're making out that we all went home is maybe some did. You know, I'm talking about
Some people. What was it?
a couple of dozen.
You went to the bar to buy a lager and you only bought one for yourself.
Well, funny you should say that, actually.
But, I was saying before the game, we was having our pre-drink in the stadium, pre-match drink in the stadium, and Danny, who's not here tonight, he was saying to me that he thought that the squad was really weak. He thought the team was weak. He was there to be beaten, and there was me. I was banging my chest and saying, "No, we've got a strong midfield. We're going to hold on. We're going to hold on to the ball."
Because you were pissed.
Yeah, I was pissed. And
so were the players, I think, in the first half.
We looked dangerous, and then of course I took my seat next to Danny, and it all unravelled in front of us. And it was one of those where every time they come towards us, you just knew there was only one place the ball was going to end up, and that was in the back of the net. That one where Martinez palmed it in. I mean, there's got to be one of the most ridiculous goals I've ever seen.
The saddest thing, you must be used to that kind of goalkeeping era by now, surely.
Yeah,
I know, but that was
you'd
just...
expect that from Flappy Hansky, wouldn't you?
I was trying to make out. I watched the game. I was off the next day, so I watched the extended highlights of the game. And I think there's one angle where you can actually see the ball's going to go wide. You know, it's not even going to go in. And to actually manage to divert it back into the opposite side netting of the goal is quite a skill. But yeah, it went wrong. And I think.
So was it, or did it all change with Icefeld and Dewey?
I think that's what it certainly sounded like. It all changed.
The manager, I think.
It couldn't be two most different halves to a game.
Yeah, but it was you say that even the first 5 minutes of that second half, we were under the cosh.
Yeah.
Shocking.
We could have easily conceded.
Yeah.
Mate, even when we were dominating, we never looked comfortable. When they did put a couple of players forward, they looked like scoring every time.
But yeah, the thing is as well, though, to be fair, I mean, most of us missed the goal because, you know, I've never seen it before where I've gone down 5 minutes before the end of the half and there's already a 15-minute queue for the drinks.
For the drinks, yeah.
That's what it was like. But
well, I mean,
was it even worse than getting a drink at the Emirates?
oh, much worse, mate. Much
from
worse.
where I was, yeah, funny enough, actually, not that the away game, the Reading game, it reminded me of Barcelona in the way that I was right up in the heavens. So I was literally on the last row. There was a big gap at the top of the stadium, so there was a breeze blowing in that was freezing my cods off. We were 4-0 down, and then they got all the Wenger out mob to the right of me, giving it Wenger out, where is our Arsenal gone and all this lark, and I'm like, oh, gee, I just don't need to be listening to this, and that prompted me to head down to have a beer at half time, and then I'll change my seats. I asked one of the boys, I said, please tell me you got a spare seat round where you are.
Just to play devil's advocate, don't you think though, being 4-0 down to
Good
Reading
film, by
is
the
a
way.
reason for the fans to actually get upset with Wenger?
Oh, definitely.
You know, I've been playing devil's advocate. Not that I necessarily agree.
Well,
but we're 4-0 down to a team that hadn't won yet. You know,
there are questions to be asked about team selection, players' attitudes as well. Because I mean, why are we turning up to these games thinking all we've got to do is turn up and win? You know what I mean? It don't happen like that. Teams raise their game for us.
We'll get to that obviously a bit later, but
Yeah.
it's been it's been a game in a number of games this season where we just and it's actually it's a theme I think we spoke about before, Mole, but it's a theme going back a good few seasons now where we just do. You can tell within the first couple of minutes what attitude the players have got. And you just know it's going to be like that from then to the end of the game. Well,
But the question is, though, I mean, without going into the specifics of some of the other games, is why is it happening game after game? Is it just?
it's a mental.
Is
It's
it
a
just a
mental thing.
plot? Is it?
It's a psychology thing. It's a psychology thing where the players
Yeah,
are
but
being
Mick,
put in the right frame of mind.
But is that on a game by game basis, or are they just not up?
No, that's what happens all the time.
I think before the international break, we was building up a nice little momentum. We looked like we was pushing up the league, and you know, people were saying, "Oh, the next 2 games are going to be vital because we're going to be in striking distance for the top 2 or 3 positions." We had Norwich and QPR.
Well, exactly.
Following.
We struggle.
But that's a more
Obviously, then we
fundamental.
got
Surely
beat by
that's a more
Norwich.
fundamental problem.
The international
that they
break come
can't
in
they
and-
can't keep momentum because they slope off to play a bit of a
City, Man U,
bollocks, bloody.
Chelsea and everybody else.
You know,
have players
international
at
football.
on international break as well. We're not the only club with players who play internationally.
No.
In fact, a lot of the other clubs who
They have
better international
well,
players.
a lot of the other teams, you know, your Chelsea, your Man United, their international players start for their
and play most of the game. Yeah.
their teams, you know, the countries. So I think a lot of our players, you know, some of them come off the bench for the national teams. But I just think, you know, just going back to player mentalities. I mean, the mere fact that Giroud and Coquelin didn't know there was extra time was shocking. You know, for me, that's like. But the thing is, I have to surely when you have a team meeting, you go over these things. Surely that's basic. Wouldn't like
They're
if you
foreign
was
though.
managing.
They're foreign. They can't understand English.
Yeah, but Wenger talks their language.
I'm joking.
If you were having a team meeting, you'd go over all the basics, wouldn't you? Oh, by the way, after 90 minutes, it goes to extra time. After extra time, it goes to penalties, or whatever. Or after
the match is decided to
yeah, or away goals come into account after injury time, after extra time. Surely that's basic. You would think that, wouldn't you?
It's a bit like the old England manager syndrome. We don't practice penalties because we want to win the game in 90 minutes.
Yeah, but that's naive.
Well, obviously.
It's absolutely
Not
naive.
prepared.
But fair
For
play to
every
the
eventuality.
two gooners who gave their shirts back. I know that they've actually called, didn't they? They want them to come forward so they can give them a proper signed
Sure.
shirt.
The other thing is, though, surely those fans in the front row should have been going, no!
Yeah, what are you doing? Get up the other end. You've got 30 minutes to play yet.
What are they doing? calling them up to play?
They want to find out who the two fans are, so
And
they
play
can
them, play them wide. Play them as
play them on the wing.
And in defence.
And the goal.
Yeah. Well, but Brian McDermott, did you hear what Brian McDermott said after the game? He went, "This was the best and worst game of my life." He couldn't believe it. He said, "It's like unbelievable." I mean, ridiculous.
The funny
thing
was though, listening to it, is there's a bit of lag time, about a minute and a half, and so I ended up dragged into watching the game on Twitter because I couldn't bear to find out listen to it.
The Arsenal player is normally about 2-3 minutes behind anyway, so it's not exactly live, is it?
Yeah.
You get more live on Twitter. But I mean, to think that you'd go to an away game and you'd see 12 goals and you'd score 7 of them. I was trying to think, have I ever been to a game where there's been 12 goals scored? I can't think of it. I can't think of one.
It brought back
seen a couple of 7-1s, ain't we?
Well, we're into the age.
Yeah.
The age.
That was 7-0, wasn't it?
7-0.
Yeah.
That was 7-0.
7-0.
Eddie
7-0. And that
McGoldrick
was...
scored an unbelievable goal on that one.
Yeah, he did.
Campbell got a
As
couple.
Brian Moore would say.
Eddie McGoldrick got hat-trick. Bring him back.
I tell you what, he couldn't do much worse than Ramsey on the fucking right wing, could he? Let's be honest.
I don't know.
Well, and also obviously the extra time meant that we missed the tubes getting back to Paddington. So not only was it an unbelievable game, got home extremely late as well. So
A bit of an
it was quite
unbelievable journey, I've heard, for some.
yeah. Paddington. No, we had issues getting up there and stuff, but unbelievable game. I don't think I'll ever forget that game. Just just the look on the Reading fans' faces when we went 5-4 up.
Oh, to be fair to them, they were giving us some stick. They were
Proper
giving us
stick.
some proper stick. And
Proper.
when we went to sing every song back at them, and I was just in shock.
The best one.
They were in shock.
The best one ever. Like, I mean, Arsenal fans, like the away fans, they actually are starting to become comedians now and it's quality when you go, because when they scored Reading, the old tannoy, the old music goes off, the old dance music. When we scored the 5th goal, the whole away end went. It was blinding. And then obviously the 6th goal and the 7th goal did exactly the same. And that was when there was a bit of an exodus after the 6th goal. But,
People did believe properly that time.
Yeah, properly. And we can't rule out from the fact that as well that Shamak bagged a couple of goals and all.
Yeah, what was that like?
Decent finishes as well.
The first one was a quality goal.
Yeah, it was a quality goal. We had a great view from that.
And it also
As soon as it left his boot, bang.
It in, yeah.
He's
What
gone
would
for a lie
happen-
down since
What
then.
would happen if he actually started those two together?
You never know.
Wow.
It'd certainly be a
They
bit more of a
wouldn't get
presence.
they wouldn't
It's
get
a,
the
it's a
bloody ball, would they?
discussion to have.
It's a discussion to
Maybe
have.
during the podcast.
Who's the next game, Rich? Who's the next game? I can't
Well,
remember.
I suppose we talk about the Man United game.
Oh, do we have to?
Talking about shirts and players and so on, did you ask Santos for his shirt at the Reading game?
Oh,
He
mate.
he didn't wait till injury time. He gave his out at half time.
Yeah. Where do we start with the Man United game? Where do we start? Because let's face it,
Not at the start, because that one didn't work out too well.
that is for me. I mean, again, 7 in a row now. They've beaten us. Seven in a row.
The thing is, everyone. I don't think anyone actually, in their heart, expected us to win there. Maybe put in a good performance. That's what normally happens. We'll put in a good performance, but ultimately we'll make some mistake and we'll get beat. Or there'll be a dive and a penalty or whatever. But there was just absolutely nothing there. When you see the players all cuddling in the tunnel, it just makes you feel sick. You're going out there to battle, to win a game, and they're all cuddling. We were beat before we even left that tunnel. We were beat. You knew it, and
Did
the
you know?
players just summed it up in that first half.
But they didn't have to do much, Man U, did they?
No.
They weren't exactly all
No.
guns blazing, were they?
That's what a lot of people say. You know, I actually spoke. Unfortunately, I had to speak to a mate today, and he said he didn't think they played particularly well. I went, "You take the piss, in ya." I'm like,
Don't know,
leave
really.
it.
No, they don't.
And that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.